Hey, guys. Hi, Kat. Glad to see you here. Miss Cristola, have missed you. Hello, Emma. Let me drop that link for you, sweetheart. We're still going to wait for a few more people to get in here, but there's your link, Miss Emma. Hello, Tina. Cat Eyes, are you here yet? Midwest. Hello, Miss Corey. I loved the photograph. That was gorgeous. Missing Pamela, Susan, Miss May. I'm turning my phone down, folks, so that we don't get interrupted again today. Did you catch the link, Emma? Hey, Nana. Nice to meet you. I'm just about sleeping, but looking forward to your show. Oh, well, thank you, hon. I'm glad you're here. Hello, Miss Emma.
Hi, everyone.
I am so glad you're here.
I know, I'm so glad to come on. I don't normally do panels, so I'm starting to open back up and do a few.
I'm glad you're getting your feet wet again on my panel.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Kat, so very much. Thank you. We're just going to chit chat for just a minute and let everybody get in, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
So tell us what you've been up to the last couple of days.
Well, the reason why I'm not showing my face is because I've just been on nights. I've just finished my 4th night shift. I've been a zombie all day. You know, when you just feel awful. You just can't keep your eyes open. So I've been sleeping most of the day. How about you?
I've just been sitting around waiting on this to happen tonight. I've been excited. I've been waiting. I've been trying to think up some really good questions for you. And well, I've got to admit, some of the questions, and I didn't write all of them down that I want to ask you, but it was a whole lot easier to come up with questions to ask you than it was for the guys, put it that way.
Yeah, well, women, we have loads more in common, don't we?
Yes, we do. Hello, Miss Redmilla. Holly.
Hi, Holly.
You were saying to me the other day that you are not an EMT. You are what now again?
Oh, well, an EMT in England stands for emergency medical technician, where I think over where you are, it stands for emergency medical team, is it? Or
No,
something?
it's technician as far as I know.
Oh, is it? Oh, right,
Yeah.
technician. Okay, well, I'm a paramedic, which is above the technician. And then I've been doing that since 2005, in which then I, over the last 10 years, became an educator. So I educate the students at university now. So they spend so much time at university and then they come out with me on the ambulance and I show them what to do on the ambulance.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Now, the difference between just a regular ambulance driver, whatever they do, and a paramedic is, or an EMT, you're allowed to give medication, shots, stuff like that, correct?
Yeah, so EMTs can give like mild things like, asthma patients, inhalers, like nebulizers, that kind of thing, maybe aspirin, paracetamol, Tylenol, that sort of thing. Whereas paramedics can give you adrenaline and amiodarone and all the life-saving drugs.
Okay. My nephew is a paramedic, so that's I thought that was correct.
Over in America somewhere, I guess.
Yes, yes, he is. Um, okay, we've got only 39 in chat. It's only 5 minutes in, guys. We thought we'd had a whole lot more than that.
Maybe it's the time. Do you
It
normally
might
go
be.
live later?
No, actually, this is usually, between 5 and 7 is when I go live. Is it pretty late where you're at right now?
It's just gone 11 p.m. So yeah, Penny's been out with her friends. I've fed her. We watched this program called Love Island. Not everybody will be into that, but it's just easy listening when you're tired. And then came up to bed, and I thought, right, well, I'll sit in bed and I'll stay awake until I come live with you. But I guess it's a lot earlier over there. What is it, like 4, 5, 6?
6. It's 6
6.
o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to be asking Emma a bunch of questions first, and then we're going to be taking questions from you guys. So you will get a chance to ask her what you want. Make sure and put a Q before your question so I know that it's a question and I know it draws my attention to it, so I know to ask her. Okay.
That's a good idea.
Okay, well, now we're gonna go ahead and just start a few questions, okay?
Yeah, go on then. I have no idea what you're going to ask me. I'm nervous. I feel nervous.
Well, you shouldn't be nervous. We're just two girls chatting.
I feel like I'm at a job interview.
Oh, wait. Okay. What is one of your earliest memories?
I remember being very, very young. My mum says that I was about, when I recall it to her, about 2, and it was snowing, and it was the first snow I'd ever seen, and I was just mesmerized by it. I just stood there and stared at it, and I just wanted to be out in it all day. It was just amazing. I loved it.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good memory. Sort of like a real life snow globe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't remember much about it apart from the fact I was just stood there mesmerized by it, wondering what was going on.
What were you like as a little girl? Like, let's say Summer's age, up to like 10 years old.
Very quiet. I would shy away, hide behind my parents, didn't want to speak to people I didn't know. Very, very quiet, very timid, small, and just wasn't very open to speaking to people. But my mum had agoraphobia, and she didn't really like going out of the house. So I don't think I was used to, apart from going to school or nursery, seeing anyone.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite memory with your mom?
With my mom. Oh gosh, never really thought of that. She's got better since I've got older. That's a really difficult one. I've not thought of that. Because there's quite a lot of instances, like when I had to go and get my first bra and things, that I had to actually go on my own. So probably as I've been older, maybe just conversations we've had since I've got older, and she's a lot better.
Right. Since you become a mom yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything you don't want to answer that you don't feel comfortable answering, just say pass. Okay.
Okay.
I don't have a problem in the world with that.
Have I got the job yet?
Not yet. We've got a few more to go. Okay.
Okay.
Everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know this. Were you a mean girl in high school?
Oh my God, no, I was so shy. In fact, we moved around so many times from school to school, area to area, that I wasn't used to talking to people and didn't want to make friends because I knew we weren't going to be there long. So if anything, I understood what it was like to be somebody on the outside. So I would be more likely to go over to someone and say, come and talk to me. Don't stand on your own. Because I knew what that was like. So no, definitely not mean. More of a quiet, shy, timid.
Who was your favorite teen celebrity crush?
Oh my God. I remember he was American as well. It was Joey Lawrence.
Really?
Oh my God, Joey Lawrence. I actually wrote to him. He never wrote back.
Oh, what a shame. Joey Lawrence, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. He
I
he made
know.
he turned into a beautiful man too.
Oh God, he was a beautiful teenager. And the program he was on, I can't. Was it Blossom? Blossom.
Yes, Blossom. But he was on Nell Carter show before that as a 5-year-old.
He was in a few things, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Quite
and then
young.
and then when they grew up, him and who was it? Melissa Joan Hart, I think it was, played on that one show, and he was the housekeeper.
Oh, I didn't see that.
What?
But yeah, oh, Joey
What?
Lawrence.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
When I grew up, well, when I was very young, I wanted to be a vet. But you know, as you grow older and you realize that actually you're not intelligent enough to be a vet,
Mhm.
and realism hits you. When I was at school, I always wanted to be a paramedic. Right, really, right from being at school, I remember the careers teacher saying, "What would you like to do, Emma?" And she asked everybody. And I said, "Well, I don't really know. I think I want to work outside." And she
Hmm.
was like, "Okay, next." I don't think she had any idea what to say to me in that regard, because years ago, like, girls weren't builders, girls weren't doing men's jobs as such. So
Right.
she had no idea what to say to me at that point. And it was just after that I decided I wanted to be a paramedic. So yeah.
Without giving any specifics, whereabouts in the UK do you live? I mean, as in reference to the castle, the queen, the princes, and all that.
Okay, well, Kat lives closer to London than I do. She lives down south. I live up north.
Mm-hmm.
So I live in a place called Yorkshire, which is a big part of the UK, but it's up north, so we have more of a broader accent. It's almost like if you go down south in America, they have that kind of that broader accent, don't they?
Right. Yeah.
And up here we do. It's kind of the opposite way around.
Did you grow up with a crush on either one of the princes?
Oh my God,
William
no,
and Mary.
no! I cannot do with the royalty. I cannot do with any of that. To me, I just kind of think they live in these castles. It's all paid for. They're living off our taxes. It's I find it very frustrating. I won't
Mhm.
tell them that though, but
Right. Okay. Then we were going to. These were a couple of questions from a viewer that I was asking. The next one was, did you ever see or be in proximity of the queen or Princess Di before she passed?
no.
Okay. Now, my next question is,
Mm,
when you were a young girl, did
yeah.
you have your wedding and your Prince Charming planned out already?
Well, when I was young, I remember working at a dental surgery. I was a dental nurse for 8 years, and this dentist asked me the same thing, and I said, "Well, I want to be engaged by the age I'm 20, by the age of 22. I want to be married by the time I'm 24, and I want children by the time I'm 26."
Did it
Well,
happen?
I'm currently 44. I've not been married. I do have the child and the long-term relationship past tense, but no, I've never been married. Yeah, nobody wants to marry me, unfortunately. I'm not quite sure
Oh,
why.
please, Emma. Maybe it's because you're too strong of a woman.
Yeah, that's it. They like weak women, don't they? Maybe that's it.
Yes. Okay, so I guess this would also cut out. Did you ever have a debutante ball?
No,
No.
no. And even when I was at school, there wasn't such a thing as a prom. Now we do have that in the UK now, and I think it started not long after I left school. But at the time, it wasn't a thing in the UK. So I've never been to anything like that, really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just work, work, work.
Always, always. Okay, well, you've already answered that one too. It says, when did you decide to become, uh, when did you decide to enter your career? And you said when you were a kid then, right?
Yeah, when I was a kid, but when I left school, I assumed that you had to have all these A levels, like higher qualifications to become a paramedic, and I didn't have that. So what I did was I became a dental nurse, qualified in that, and then when I'd finished doing that and I was stable in that career, I then went to night school and got the qualifications to join the ambulance service and start getting myself on the ladder.
Have you found it hard to be a mom and a career person?
Yeah, I mean, when I was with Penny's dad, I probably stayed for years longer than I should have done. I think just because I was so worried about what it would be like trying to do it all on my own, working full time, having a child, paying all the bills on one wage. Where would I live? Like, how would shifts go if I'm on a night shift? Who'd look after Penny? And all these things. And so I kind of pushed it to the back of my mind and just got on with it with him longer than I should have done.
Right.
So I think it is worrying, isn't it? Like, just the thought, if you are on your own and you do have kids, how are you going to do it? But it is possible. It works itself out. It does.
Right. I think that's a lot of women's a lot of the one thing that worries a lot of women, should I say.
Yeah. I mean, I was worried, and I've got a fairly decent paying job. I mean, it's not massive, but it pays all of my bills and everything. So I mean, if you're a mum of children and you don't work, or you have a minimally paying job, it must be even more scary. But these things work themselves out, because you can get benefits, or you can get whatever you're entitled to, and a lot of people don't know what they are entitled to. And it just works itself out in the end. And you look back and you think, oh my God, why did I put up with that for as long as I did?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if anybody's listening and you're stuck in that situation, it is something that just works out on its own. It gets sorted. You don't have to worry about
it. When did you start getting interested in true crime?
When I was little, quite small, my mum did a night shift at this care home a couple of times a week, and she was on her own, so she didn't mind doing that. She worked on her own, and when she did that, my dad would get films from the video shop. Do you remember years ago it was video shop?
Mm-hmm.
And he'd always pick something that he thought he would like. All these scary films, all the vampire movies, all the Hellraisers and Freddy Kruegers and the Jasons with the mask and all that kind of stuff. And we used to have to sit one on each side of us at like 4 and 6 or 6 and 8 watching this with him.
Yeah.
And so, of course, apart from not wanting to go to sleep because we were that scared, I kind of grew up on it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then all of the detective dramas on the television that my dad liked watching, we had to watch all that as well. It was never anything me and my brother wanted to watch. It was always what he wanted to watch.
Well, that's normally the way it goes with most parents. He wasn't into westerns or anything.
No, not really. But it just got me fascinated with true crime from quite a young age. And I've always been quite interested. But when I was a lot younger, I think it scared me a little bit, whereas it just doesn't scare me anymore.
Right. So when did you, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, but with the job that I do as well, you go in and you see a dead body, and it's like you walk out after dealing with all these crying relatives, and it's like, yeah, next, go to the next one. It could be exactly the same thing. And then you're like, yeah, next. So we kind of push a lot away. We don't tend to worry about things as much as a lot of people do in regards to certain things. quite strong-willed,
Yeah.
and able to move past things, so it's easier to deal with crimes, especially crimes against children. You can just get on with it a bit more than I probably would have done if I hadn't have done this job.
My nephew had to quit one time because he had 3 very small children at home, and there was a set of 6-month-old twins, and they got into a car wreck, and they neither made it, neither one of them.
Oh, that's awful.
And
Yeah,
he
we had
wound up,
a barn fire, and I remember it coming up on the screen as one dead and one burn, and I remember thinking, oh my god, I don't even want to get to this. But you just have to, don't you, and get on with it, because there's no other choice. You just have
right.
to get on with it. And Penny was the same age as one of those children.
I
But
think,
yeah, it
go
can
ahead.
affect you. It can affect you. Like, it can affect your mental health. That's it. I think it definitely can.
Yeah, I think he stayed away for about 7 months, and then he realized he could do more good by being out there than staying at home trying to protect his own children. You know what I mean? Not that he's not wasn't going to protect his own children, but that was his take on it. I can't explain it. What made you decide to start your channel?
Um, well, I watch a lot of crime documentary channels, and I always have, even before I got into YouTube. And I've never ever considered like having my own channel ever. And I was watching these documentary channels, and I thought, it doesn't look that difficult. I could do that, you know. And so I started one up, but it wasn't for ages till I actually uploaded anything.
Mm-hmm.
And Candace, I don't know if you know Candace Young from my channel. She's one of my subs. She was
Oh,
one of the first ones to come over and support me, and so that's meant a lot. But yeah, and then I started uploading things, and getting into it. But I think it's a little bit easier now. Penny's a teenager, because she tends to come in from school and she just goes up to her room, and I'm like, do you want to spend time with mummy? No, I'm just doing this, mom. I'm just talking to so and so. So you're like, okay, well, I'll make a video then.
right.
So I have more time now, than when she was younger. Obviously, being a single one, no other brothers and sisters. You know, it was full on. But now she's got a bit older, it's easier to have that
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter's going through empty nest syndrome herself. So, and as far as them being 14, 13, 14, 15 years old, I feel for you. I pray for you, Emma. Trust me, I've been there. Went
Thank
through
you.
it with 2 of them. It's horrible. Um, sorry about that.
It is.
Okay. And Tina wanted me to ask you, and I know you've sort of already answered this, but if I don't know if she was in here yet, what compelled you to become a first responder? Her son is going into that field, and she was wanting me to specifically ask you that.
Uh, what, first responder as in on my own on the ambulance, or just in general doing the job?
I guess in general, just doing the job.
Well, I suppose I've never been bothered by blood, and I'm used to the saliva and kind of that sort of stuff from the dentists. I used to help out in a care home for no money. I just used to offer my services to go and help in a care home. So I was used to the poo. So none of that has ever affected me, really. Vomit, poo, blood. And it was something I wanted to do when I was at school, and I was helping out in the care home, and they were dishing the drugs out for people on the night time, and I would be the one. They let me go around and hand them out to the, not that they would do that these days, but you know, they used to let me go around and hand them out to the patients or clients, whatever they call them in nursing homes these days. And I don't know, I wanted to help. And I used to sit with them on the bed, and just chat to them, and they were really excited to see me every week. You know, will you come back next week? And I'd be like, yeah, yeah. And so I kind of wanted to help, but I didn't want to be a nurse. I wasn't intelligent enough to be a doctor. I was bored of the dentists, and I just really wanted to fulfill the dream that I'd always had. Oh, and I think the main thing as well was, I don't know if you get this. I'm guessing you don't, because it's an English program, but in the UK we have a a program called Casualty. And it's a
Mhm.
bit like following the inside of, it's a drama, but it's like following the inside of the hospital and doctors, nurses. Some of them are having relationships, but it shows you the patients coming in and the paramedics bringing people in. And I remember saying when I was about 6 or 7, that's what I want to do when I grow up. That's what I want to do. So I think it's from watching that program, you know, from being very young. Because it was like my favourite program on every Saturday night. Casualty.
Well, we have a lot of those shows on TV now.
Yeah.
Over here, we've got a lot of them, and they've got a lot of relationships going too. Trust me. One last question, and then we're going to start taking the questions from the viewers. Okay?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know this one's coming. You know it's coming.
Oh my God.
What do you think happened to Summer?
Well, on my channel, as people criticize often, I do a lot of theories. And so we've gone through a lot of them. We've gone through the ritualistic thing. We've gone through the, is it Don? Is it Candace? Was it their sons? Was it the neighbors? Me personally, I think that something happened that day. Well, I've got two theories. One is that it happened over the weekend, a few days before, because we've already heard from a couple of people saying that Don was not the you know, in the right state of mind when he came to work on the, was it the Monday? And so I think something might have happened over the weekend, and they have asked H to remember a situation that happened on the 4th of June, just before Summer went missing, and to remember that story. Because on the 4th of June, the exact same situation happened before, where he texted her, she arranged to go get him. Grandus was at the hospital. So I don't know if that's the case. And the other one is that at the waterhole that day, she felt like he said she'd hit her head on a rock, she'd gone under the water. I think it was probably for longer than, because it was initially a minute, wasn't it? Now he's saying, what, 10 seconds or something? I don't know, ridiculous. I think it was longer than that. I think she either got secondary drowning or more than likely some kind of head injury, and she got more and more ill. They didn't take her to the hospital, and I think, you know, end of that. I think it's one of those. I'm not quite sure, but one of.
I want to address the first one. It would be easier. I do agree with you with the first one, because it would be easier for them to remember a script about a day that has already happened.
Yes. Yeah, I've got a message, and I don't know where I got it from now. I can't remember. It's a long time ago. I don't know if I got it off Facebook or if it was sent to me via Doug. I'm not sure. But anyway, it was it's a message, and it's between Hunter and Candace, and they're on the phone. There's you can see at the top of the message, it said phone call. And then he says, yo. She says, yo. He says, come and see me. She says, okay, just dropping mum off at the hospital. Something about a leg. And that it's this conversation. And if you look at the date, it actually says the 4th of June, and it's 2021. So are they asking him, did something happen that day, like over the weekend, and they're asking him, or that day at the waterhole, and they're asking him to remember back to when they met up on the 4th, Grandus went to the hospital, in order to, you know, give him a memory in order to recite. I don't know.
Well, see, I did a video on that where I questioned whether he was even there on that day, because of certain things that he would say, like he couldn't remember the milk, he couldn't remember the orange drink. He says when Chris McDonough asked him something about where the baby was at when he got out of the truck, he goes, she says that she was asleep on the door. Well, who is she, and why did she have to tell him where the baby was at if he was crawling over her?
Well, I think he meant his mum, but then didn't he say, didn't she get out, mum? I thought she got out.
Right,
Well, like, no. But he didn't remember whether she put a swimming costume on or where she did that, whether she already came with it on, whether they went in the house. And it's different to what Candace said. I mean, TBI must be literally pulling the hair out with this case.
right.
I
I
mean,
agree.
we are, and we're not actually involved in it.
Right. And secondly, on the second theory of yours, if she had some type of drowning, whether it be second or uh, whatever the other one is called, um, or if she hit her head, that does not mean that she passed immediately.
No.
And if she hit her head or either one of the drowning type scenarios took effect, would that account for the blue bedded fingernails, in your opinion, with what knowledge you have as far as medical expertise?
Yeah, I think if, first of all, if she'd have banged her, I've been to a lot of head injuries. I've been here 21 years in the ambulance service. If you bang your head hard enough to die like that, generally, you would see enough force for there to be your head smashed open,
Right.
and there would be a lot of blood. So more than likely, most of the time, 99.9% of the time, we go to a head injury and you don't see anything. You don't see any blood. We went to a guy recently. He was pale, he was freezing cold. He was blue lips, purple fingers. He looked terrible. He was clammy, sweaty. He was vomiting. He had a head
Sleep.
injury.
Was he sleepy?
Yeah, couldn't keep his eyes open.
Mhm.
He was pale. He was vomiting. He didn't want to answer questions. He looked terrible. But this was a head injury with no cuts, no bruises, no blood, nothing to see.
No pump knots.
No, not even a reddening of the skin.
That's because the thing went in instead of coming out and making a pump knot, and that's when it's dangerous, correct?
Yeah, I mean, there must have been some force for him to feel like that. So whether it was severe concussion or whether there was something else going on, obviously we dropped them off at the hospital. We're gone, so we don't always get to see what goes on after the scans and things. But yeah, it was definitely a head injury. He'd hit his head on something, but there was nothing to see. But he had all the symptoms of a head injury. So if there was something, I don't know if recently you saw I made a video and it was regarding whether or not H had backed a truck into Summer by accident. Maybe he was reversing. I'm not blaming him for anything. Obviously, I wasn't there. I'm just, another theory. Because somebody had said that he was driving around on Candace's property and knocked Summer down. So I covered that. And people were saying, yeah, but surely if that happened, there'd be blood everywhere. The dogs would have picked up the scent. Well, not necessarily, like the guy I was telling you about a minute ago. You can be knocked down. It doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be blood spewed everywhere,
Well, right. Well, like the doctors will tell you, with a head injury, don't go home and lay down flat and go to sleep. You're supposed to set up like in a recliner or something. And if you do fall asleep, you're supposed to be woke up at least every hour to every 2 hours, because a head injury can result in something worse, can it not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty.
But
We're ready to start taking questions, guys. If y'all want to start asking them, I know you guys have already been asking them, but I don't want to run back up the chat.
you had Don B on the other week. I was like, oh, swooning over Don B.
Well, who isn't?
Oh, he's lovely. He's lovely.
Yes.
Emma.
Question. Yeah, Emma, I am curious about the sedation of Summer or any child. Would the sedation drugs cause the discoloration of Summer's nails as well?
Sedation drugs don't always cause that, but what they could cause it if it was severe. Say, for instance, her oxygen levels had dropped because she was so sedated, it had sedated her breathing, it had sedated her pulse, in which case her blood pressure would drop, her pulse would drop, and her breathing, everything would drop. So in which case she wouldn't be getting the oxygen needed to where it should be needed. So in which case then that any blood you had in your body, especially in your hands and feet, your peripheries, would then go to the main part of your... So if it was severe enough, yes, it could.
Okay. In Summer's Tiny won't take much, and I was at Logger's Head. Oh, this is evidently part of a conversation.
Wow.
They're saying thank you. Happens every year.
I just wish we had some real facts. And people keep saying to me under some of my videos, and you probably get it as well, you know, please just bring the facts. Well, wait a minute. If we had the facts, this case would be solved. And what facts is there? I don't even think the TBI has that many facts. It's all possibilities.
Right, in theories. And, you know, coming up with what could have or maybe, you know, possibilities. Laura says, how familiar is the UK with Summer's case?
Not very. I mean, I work with a lot of different people, and I'll say to them, have you heard about Summer? Or they know I've got a YouTube channel. Oh, I'm covering this case. And they're like, oh, what's that then? Nobody really knows. No, I think it's probably quite widespread in America, although I've heard that a lot of people in America don't know about it. But over here, certainly not. No, it's certainly not been on any news channels or anything like that. It may have been in the news, on a paper maybe, but no, I don't think that many people have heard of it.
So how did you pick it up?
Because I have the channel, and with me being part of the crime community, I had actually, I think, in fact, it was A Balance that initially put up the flyer, the missing persons flyer. So I then thought, oh my gosh, who's this? Gone to USA, you know, news and found it, and that's how I started covering it.
Okay. Does anyone know if they have snakes in that lake? Water moccasins, copperheads, possibly. Does the stain on Summer's hoodie look like blood to you, Emma?
Yes.
Why is Summer's earlobes black in the milk jug picture?
I mean, I've had a good look at her, and I didn't notice that her earlobes were black. Maybe it's shadow. It could be anything. It could be anything really. I don't know, but I've never, even on head injury patients, I've not seen dark ears.
Right. Could it have been a combination of sleepers and a knock blow to the head?
Could it have been a combination of
sedation pills of some
sort?
Oh,
right. Yeah, well, it could have been. I suppose maybe if they thought she was ill, and maybe one thing with head injuries is agitation. So if she's been agitated on top of any problems she already has,
right.
I suppose they may have given her something, because didn't Candace take a lot of Xanax, as far as I'm aware? So right. I suppose that's always a possibility.
What percentage of the case do you believe is hearsay?
Oh, 80%.
80%. Okay. Lauren says, the more I look at the milk jug image, the more I start to see things that lead me to wonder if she hit her head on the tree next to her swing.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a possibility as well. You know, if she got back, gone on a swing, that has crossed my mind, you know, because when you see her on that, she's going fast. She had no fear on that thing. And I was kind of cringing watching, thinking, because Penny's got one of those round seats, and I remember having to stand with her. I wouldn't let her go on it on her own.
Right.
Next to a tree.
Corey says that's what she was thinking was cottonmouth. Emma, have you listened to the slips from JSB and your thoughts today? Re-listening to the rambling, JSB slipped and said she got in the creek to see if Summer was still in the creek.
I've listened to some of the slip-ups, yeah, the ones that I've covered. I've not listened to her today. Oh, you're saying today you're re-listening to the ramblings? Yeah, I can't understand what she's saying. I find it really difficult. She got in the creek to see if Summer was still in the creek. I think she would have floated up by now. What we guess is if she was. I know it sounds horrible to even think about it, but I think she would have come up by now.
Honey, that creek wasn't 3 inches deep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like a babbling brook.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I've not been, so I have no idea, but.
What are your thoughts on the fact that Tim Mullins contacted the Sun newspaper and sold that letter to them before he released it?
If he sold, I didn't hear that, but if he'd sold those letters to the paper, then he's a disgusting human being, because any money that he's made in regards to, if he is part of Don's circle and he's keeping that money for himself, I mean, that should be given to Don, surely. And if he's kept it for himself, that just kind of shows you what type of person he is, really. Right. I would have thought. Just my opinion.
I have no clue what this is about. It's part of a conversation. A purple radio, candy cane, and some plastic plant holders. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't have a plastic radio or a candy cane. Or there any plant holder pots, unfortunately.
Emma, why would Donwells have to notarize a letter that he supposedly wrote? Why would he have to get it notarized if he wrote it?
Well, he wouldn't, I'm sure. I mean, the only thing I can think of is, did Don say all this over the phone? And, you know,
it had to be notarized to prove that Don is the one that actually said these words.
Well, you wouldn't, would you? I mean, unless it's to try and prove it. But
what do you make of Candy saying, if I was there, they would never treat her like that, meaning Summer? What do you think she meant?
Yeah, I picked up on that at the time, and I remember thinking, treat her like what? So, I mean, that would go along with the theory as to the neighbour coming over, Don being there, the oldest son, other men, you know, that would kind of go along with that theory, I guess.
Okay. Lauren says it's to record the date without mailing the envelope.
Ah.
That makes sense. John Davis, hello. He says he loves your accent.
Oh, thank you, John. I watch your channel sometimes. Not all the time, because I'm working, but I do watch. With your, is it girlfriend or wife? I watch
his beautiful bride.
Yeah.
Any more questions, guys? And John, you're not allowed to ask boxers or briefs. He always asks. Yeah, he it's a joke. Boxers or briefs. You know,
I don't have any on at the minute. Oh, no, I do.
You don't have any on? She's going commando too.
I'm joking. I'm just.
Oh Lord.
Oh my God. I'm just trying to spice the chat up a bit, you know.
Okay. Emma, how do you feel that's what John Davis is doing in here? He comes in here to do that for me. How do you feel about Grandus's now after your text conversations?
Well, at the time, I thought, when I was speaking to her, I thought, wow, she's a really nice person. Even though I felt she knew more, I thought, she sounds really nice. Um, but since then, not having any communication, her saying to me after I released those messages, I can't believe you do that, sending me all these messages and then deleting them. You were supposed to have my back, all that kind of stuff. She wasn't happy. And then just the quietness of her, just the fact that she's still not said anything. Listening to her interview recently on WJHL and falling over her words and everything, I do 100% feel that she knows more than that she's hiding a lot. And I think she's staying out of the media because she doesn't want to be quizzed, because she knows she will slip up. Like Don can easily kind of right his wrongs, or she just probably wouldn't be able to do it, and that's why she's staying out of the media, to try and protect herself from saying anything that would get her into trouble.
Okay. John says commando, much respect. And Midwest says cotton or silk is what he should have been asking. Cotton or silk?
Silk, actually. Well, yes, silk, yeah.
Where did you get your pet turtle? He's so cute, and I love the video where he's following you.
I got him off. Well, I'd always wanted one, a piano and a tortoise, and never got the piano because I've not got enough room. So I decided to get the tortoise, and I looked online, and there was a man selling one, 3 years of age, and it was living in this really tiny, like, habitat, and I just thought, that's really sad. So I was pleased to get it home, buy it like a big cage with an upstairs. So it's got a really nice life now, and it runs around chasing me. Did you see the video I put out of him and his ornament, Betty?
I don't know if I saw that one or not. I don't know if they did.
Because I got him an ornament from the garden centre type place, and it's Betty. It's like a fake tortoise, but he seems to like it a little bit too much.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be some interesting videos, Emma.
Yeah. Well, I've made it. I put it on my channel, though, because my Bob's channel is for children, and I didn't think it would go down well with the parents, so.
Oh, yeah, probably not. Tina says, how and when do you think this is going to end?
I mean, there's been a lot of things come out recently, which it almost feels like the case is starting to crack open again, and we're starting to find stuff out. But I'd like to think as soon as possible, like yesterday, but who knows? It's like a piece of string, I guess.
Right.
Who's going to crack first? Who do you think is going to crack first?
Who, me? You're asking me?
Our grandma and mum and dad.
I don't think any of them are. I think it'll be a witness.
Mm-hmm.
May says, what do you make out of Grandus saying Summer was unresponsive? I never heard that.
No, that was by that Ziggy Valero, wasn't it?
Probably.
Yeah. I believed her, because some of the stuff she'd had from Grandus was pretty much the same as what I'd had. And I think she spoke to her after she'd spoken to me. So I think she'd realised that it was probably best to speak over the phone than to have paper trail.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she said that Summer wasn't unwell. She was vomiting. She was sick, all this kind of stuff, which would go along with her being ill at the waterhole, hitting her head.
Right. It would, wouldn't it?
Mm.
There was back when all of it first started, when the case first started and everything was coming out, there was a channel. I cannot remember her name. I used to be subscribed to her, but I unsubscribed to a lot of people, and now I can't remember her name. She had put a video out saying that she had talked to a friend of Grandus's in Wisconsin, and that Grandus had told her that what had happened was the baby had fell down the stairs, and I don't know if she was still with us or not, but Candace called Don, and he said, "Leave her alone. I'm on my way. I'll deal with it when I get there." And
See, I've never heard that.
yeah, she was the only person that ever reported that story, and it never went anywhere. She wasn't a real big channel or anything, and I have never heard anybody else talk about it.
Wow. No, I've never heard that. And you know what? I kind of class myself as, because I literally look into summer every day. If I'm not speaking to someone in Wisconsin, I'm speaking to one of the family members, I'm speaking to somebody every day, or another crime creator, or I'm looking at videos every day. And I would have thought I would have heard that. So to not have heard that is weird.
That
So
was
like you said,
before you started talking to Grandus.
oh, so that was a while ago then.
Yeah, that was way back. John says, "Do you think Hawkins County Sheriff's Office will ever pass the case to TBI and admit defeat?"
Oh God, I wish they would. I really wish they would, because, I mean, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be careful what I say now. And I've never said this openly before, but I certainly think there is some corruption.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Discovering the Truth says, "What kind of tortoise is he?" And my cousin has a Jalapagos, whatever, and it's huge.
A jalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopalopal a Herman tortoise. I think. What was the question? Because I got stuck with the Jalopolopodus.
I'm sorry. What kind of tortoise is he?
Oh yeah, a Herman tortoise.
Sorry about that. Hey, my mom taught me that, and I don't know why I can't remember to do it now. If you run into a big word that you cannot pronounce or figure out, say pink elephants, and then go on. And then the word will normally come to you, but I can't remember to do that.
Oh, like an old wives' tale kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
There's a reason no one talks about it. She was lying, most likely. I guess we're talking about grandus.
Yeah, probably. I think they all are. I think they're all lying. But there's got to be a reason why they're all lying, and I think they've all got something on each other. You know, if Grandus says something, she's probably the one getting the pills for everyone, for instance. I'm not saying she is, but, for instance, if she says something, then they've got that on her. And if, Candace says something about Don doing something to Summer, he can say, well, you did this with boys underage. So I think they've all got something on each other.
I have a question for you. This is, have you heard this question? Okay. I was asked today if I had heard it and if we could try to come up with a reason why it was being said or is being said. Someone somewhere said that Jody Sue's real name was Jody Sue Bly Brown. They want to know, is she some kin to Candace? I've never heard it, and more than likely, I believe it may just be somebody out there just throwing something out to see how big it'll grow. What do you think?
I think it's a load of rubbish because I've done background checks on all of these people, and not only does it show you the names that they use apart from their own, but it shows you all their neighbours, it shows you all their relatives that it can possibly show you, and it would have come up as a relative of, plus she would have probably had an address at some point in Wisconsin where they all grew up or something. So I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Remain Calm says, from the beginning, Dawn, Candace, and Grandma were all trying to make Candace out to be such a great mom. What is your opinion about that?
That's my opinion.
Okay. What is Amanda S. Vitta's channel, Nana? I don't know, sweetheart. I don't recognize the name. I know I probably should, but I don't.
Isn't that John Davis's wife?
No. That's Brandy.
Oh, Brandy Davis. Oh, I don't know then.
Um, I have you said something about Candace Young earlier, and yes, I do know Candace, and I do talk to her, and she is a subscriber of mine, and she is a very wonderful person.
She is. She's lovely. She's been with me like since a couple of weeks after joining and putting up my very first video, and she's been with me ever since. And yeah, she's just so supportive, and she's there every time I go live. She's always one of the first ones to comment. She's just amazing. A big
Right.
yeah.
John Davis says, do you think two missing people in one family is a coincidence?
Oh my God, yeah. Definitely. I mean,
It's a
how many families
coincidence.
do you know that have got a missing? I mean, I don't know any that have got one missing child, but never mind two. I
Right.
mean,
So it's not a coincidence.
no. And I asked Grandus what she thought of Don being involved in Rose's disappearance. Because at the time, if you think about it, they've got what, a 12, 13-year-old boy. So if she went missing just before that, that means Don was around at the time when Rose went missing.
Well, they were in between Arkansas and Tennessee, supposedly.
Yeah. So I still think he could possibly be involved in both. I mean, to have two missing people from the same family, both go missing, that's one coincidence. But then both never get found, so far anyway. That's another coincidence. Usually you find one. You know, you'd expect to find one out of two, 50%. But both missing, both not found.
Right.
I think it's the same person.
Just my English teacher over here is Galapagos. Is how you pronounce it. Galapagos. I can't even say it now. Forget it. What do
Hi,
you
Alex.
think? What do you think about the LE vehicle supposedly being seen in the area at the time Summer went missing? That Monte Carlo that belonged to that. It belonged to one of the law enforcement officers.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me because I've been looking at some of the people that live on Beach Creek, looking at their past history and who they are relatives with. And they've all got Lawsons in their family. And they've all got names you've heard before in their family. I was shocked at the amount of Lawsons that these people...
Lawsons and Lights and Goads and
yeah. I mean, one of them on Beach Creek had about 10, I think it's about 8 to 10 Lawsons in their family, and I thought one of those Lawsons surely has to be.
Oh yeah. Did you ever see the it was the I can't think of the name of the document, the indictments from 2000, I think it was 13, those 31 people that were indicted, the big drug bust that Ronnie Lawson did.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I watched the video of it.
And it was like it consisted mainly of Lights, Lawsons.
Yes.
I mean, that was just unreal. Yeah, we know why he thinks there's no drugs up there now, because they, never mind, I won't say that.
Yeah, because he thinks he's cleared it all, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, they either start again, or their families, their brothers and sisters that were there with them that just happened to not get arrested, will still be doing it, you know.
Dang it, I'm late. Love you. Crime Stories obsessed. Alex Erickson.
Oh, I love Alex. She's so lovely. She reminds me of myself. Quiet, you know, just gets on with her own thing. Wants answers, does her best. You know, she just reminds me of my channel, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If people don't think there can be a lot of corruption in one county, please check my case, Street of Kansas versus Floyd Bledsoe. It's pretty interesting somewhat to a case like this. Did 16 before being Exoner?
Exonerated, is it?
I guess it's EXONER.
Wow.
Questions, guys, questions. When Ronnie Lawson said no drug trafficking in Beach Creek because of dead end, he could have meant it stopped before the dead end at the wells and AB and JSB houses. What do you think?
Well, I guess anything's possible. I think he's either got blinkers on. He thinks he either cleared it all with that big bust, or he's just closed off to it. I mean, I've listened to the radios over the last year, and they're arresting people all the time for these things, and getting calls out all the time for certain things up there. And for him to come out and say that there's no drugs going on up there, I'm shocked, to be honest.
Discovering the Truth says, since you said you've spoke to most of the family, I'm sure you spoke to Candace. Do you think Candace has some intellectual disabilities, possibly autism?
I've not spoken to Candace, but I spoke to Grandus. But I've seen Candace online, you know, like we've all seen her and her own videos and things. I think she's certainly not, she doesn't act like an adult. I think she certainly acts a lot younger, which is why she might have been hanging around with these young kids.
Right. Emma, what do you think of the crazy freaking timeline or lack of it?
The crazy timeline. I think it's a narrative. I think the timeline's crazy. I think some of it's true. If they've seen her on their cameras, these cameras, they've seen her leaving the property twice, and you know, she's apparently denied that, but they'll have seen her coming up there at a certain time, so that's why they will have put that time out on the news, you know, saying that they got back at a certain time, etc. But I think the rest of it's narrative, and I think a lot of it's probably made up.
Right.
Because if she's denying the fact that she left the property twice, despite the fact that the TBI or Hawkins County have got evidence to show she left the property, then what does that say about the narrative that they've put out?
Alex says, you guys are sweet. I love your channel, Emma. I think I found it through Summer, and I've been enjoying your channel, Nana. I appreciate what you've both put out. Thank you. You're so welcome, sweetheart.
Yeah, so
we're just trying to do the same as everybody else, which is find the answers.
Yeah, no drama, just, you know, facts and a lot of theories and chats about it all, trying to work out what could have happened. And you know, we also we appreciate the support, don't we?
Yes, we do very much. Tina says Candace behaves congenitively delayed at the very least.
Oh God, yeah, I think so.
John Davis has a very important question. Do you think Elvis is alive?
No.
Emma!
Although, actually, having said that, I went to a patient about 2-3 months ago, and Elvis was there. He was dressed in the full gear. He spoke like Elvis. He had the hair and everything, and his name was Elvis.
His real name was Elvis?
Well, that's what he said. He didn't. I don't know if his real name was Elvis, but he said, "Yeah, just call me Elvis." And then tried to persuade me to take a nodding Elvis in the ambulance, but I accidentally, on purposely, left it on the window as I left.
Charlie is not feeling well, guys.
Oh, Charlie, you okay? What's wrong?
He's not in chat. He's not going to make it today.
Oh.
But I want everybody to say prayers for him.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Kingdom come, thy will be done.
Anyways, I told him it was okay. He's good, and we're saying prayers for him.
Amen.
Yes, he is, John. Do you see I got a wrench too? Ha ha.
Hi, Brooks.
Brandy. Have you ever seen Bob Joyce? You've got to go check out some of Bob Joyce's videos, and then you'll understand where we're coming from. Okay, Michael Vaughn's press conference today was so much more informative than the TVI's summer news conferences. I have not got to watch it, but I plan on watching it. Did you watch it, Emma?
No, I've been asleep all day after being on night, so I've not watched it. To be honest with you, I've not covered the case. I should have done, but you know what it's like. People ask you to cover all these cases, and Brooks does a really good job over at Crime Lines and Lies. She covers all these different cases. But for me, what with working full time and all the rest of it, if I'm going to research a case, I can only manage to really, really fully delve into one at a time, because to be able to get that much information and to message everyone and to find all this stuff out, you have to concentrate on one. For me, well, personally, with my situation, I just can't
Exactly.
do it.
And I do understand with all the people, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with trying to get the pictures out there of all these missing children or people, but to me, throwing their picture up for 5 seconds and then going to the next one does not, because you see it for 5 seconds. You don't have time to memorize their face, their hair, the eye color, that kind of thing. You could see it on your TV and walk outside and walk past them 10 minutes later and never know that that was the same person. So
Mm-hmm.
I think studying on one person at a time and actually getting their picture and stuff out there does more good, in my opinion. John says, smart, Emma. Thank God someone else is sane. Talking about the Elvis thing.
Yeah, yeah.
He
I,
gives,
I do. I do think he's gone though. I think that guy over here in England, I think he was just a fake one, to be honest.
no, the guy that I'm talking about is in Benton, Arkansas.
Oh,
And there has been facial recognition people done an 8 point, what, an 18 point thing, and that's like perfect, perfect. They both match. And there's been voice recognition people, really real ones that go to court.
yeah, but how old would he be now?
He would be 80 something, early 90s, I think, maybe. But honey, there are a lot of magical doctors out there that can make people look really young if you got the money.
Yeah, true.
May says she's seen Elvis too, Emma.
Yeah, but if you're going to pay all that money out to try and make yourself look young again, but then not go anywhere because you're hiding from the truth because you don't want people to know you're still alive, what's the point in spending all that much money to make yourself look young?
Because he doesn't hide. He's on camera every week at least.
Oh.
And he sells CDs and everything.
I still don't believe it. I think he's gone. Oh, I don't know. I think he's gone.
Oh, Tina says, Emma, you can pray out loud on Nana's channel. I do it all the time. Absolutely. Holly says Elvis is alive. I'm sorry we got off on this subject. You're probably not an Elvis fan, huh?
John, pack it in with the Elvis situation.
Do you think Grandus is holding back because of her past criminal record in another state and alleged restrictions about refraining from being around the children?
Yeah, because she's not, as far as I'm aware, she's not supposed to be around children. And I don't know what went on back there. I haven't seen any arrest records for her over there, but I do think there might be something going on with her over here, whether it be selling things that she shouldn't have been selling, or transporting moonshine back to Wisconsin and going back every 6 months to sell it for the lights or whoever.
Right. Emma calling John out. Yeah, there you go. Where in Arkansas? It's in Benton, Arkansas. I did not bring it up, John.
Where is Arkansas? Oh, it's in the south of America.
Well, mid-south. It's, Lord, I don't know my geography that darn well. It's like 4 hours from us, from me. It's like 4 hours from here. It's not far.
Isn't it funny how you don't always know where these places are, but you kind of know how far each of these places are from where you live?
Well, because I've looked it up because I want to go over there. I want to go to that church.
Do you? Have you thought about going over to Tennessee to Rogersville?
Who, me?
Mm.
Well, I sort of live here.
Oh, do you? I know you've got the accent, but I wasn't sure.
I was 20 minutes from her house until about a month ago, and now I'm about 50 minutes from her house.
Oh, wow. I can't see how going over there can make any difference. If you're going over there to search, I mean properly search. I don't mean taking a walk by the river or the lake or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But I mean like properly search, then obviously it's worthwhile going. But if you go in just to put it on your channel, or you just go in to be able to say, look, I've been, I just can't see the point in spending all the money.
Right.
And the hotels and everything, it just doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest.
When all you're doing is going up there to try to get a glimpse of their house or something like that. It's,
yeah. I mean, if you live 20 minutes away and you wanted a drive out, it wouldn't be much for you to do that. But, you know, for these people who are like flying in and things, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. I agree. Emo got to teach y'all about USA. Emma. It looks like an O. Emma's got to teach us about the USA. Okay, John.
Me teach you about the USA. Oh God, I know California's on the left. I know New York's on the right, and I know where the south is, and that's about it. Oh, and there's Canada at the top. There you go, guys. You sorted. We're all sorted.
There you go. She has taught us everything that we need to know about the USA.
That's it. Yeah. Oh dear. I don't know.
Remain calm. Are you leaving? Yes, everybody please say an extra prayer for Remain Calm's daughter, because she's having to go out there soon and be with her. Her daughter's not doing good.
Oh.
They found a brain mass on her the other day.
And, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
It's not. Tina says, I can't disagree with Emma. I am only a third generation American. Well, I'm only a second generation American. Thank you. I'm from Ireland.
Thank you, Vibes.
I don't, oh, there.
Ireland. That's not far from me.
Is it not?
No, not really.
Breckenshire. Does that name ring a bell to you?
What in Shire?
Breckenshire.
Brackenshire.
Yep.
It
would have been in your history books.
No.
Okay, well, I traced my family tree, well, one tree of it, one branch of it, all the way back, and we're talking a straight line, father, son, father, son, father, son, all the way back to 1000, the year 1000.
Oh my gosh.
And they lived, it was Sir Peter Gunter in Breckenshire.
It wasn't Berkshire, no?
And it was spelled Breckenshire, I believe. I'm almost positive. Yeah, Breckenshire.
No, that might be further down south. I've not heard of that one. But
well, I'm pretty sure that place doesn't even exist anymore. That's why I was asking you if you.
Oh yeah, that's the point. They rename places, don't they? And like,
Yes.
yeah. Well, I mean, we are talking a long time ago.
Yeah. What, 2,000 years? Well, at least 1,000.
My gosh. Wow. Buckinghamshire? No?
Maybe. I don't know. I would have to actually look at the paperwork again. I've got it on my dad's side.
Because that's where the Queen lives, isn't it? In Buckinghamshire.
No, John Davis, I'm not going to say that, and I don't know why. Have you been talking to my son? No, I'm not saying that.
Worcestershire. Or if you live in Yorkshire, it's Worcestershire.
That's how they say it in the United States too.
They say shire instead of shire.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of late. We class it as lazy speak, you know, because the posh people say shire. Ew, it's shire.
I would have said it with the shire on it. I would have, if I'd have tried to pronounce it. But everybody makes fun of the way I talk. So.
Aww.
And like Christella says, John, you know nobody can pronounce that word. Let me tell you something. I don't know, Emma, if you know Christella or not. Christella is my top mod. She is absolutely wonderful. She is a magician. She is absolutely incredible.
No, I don't think I have Popsha. Popsha? Go on, guys. I'm just getting a drink from downstairs. I'm thirsty.
I'm a sacred spirit. Why am I a sacred spirit? Worcestershire. I can't say it. Worcester. Yeah. Never mind.
He just wants to laugh at you.
He does, see? And I don't even know how he knows how I say it. My oldest son makes fun of me when I talk about DC, you know, the first part of where the president lives.
That's better. Do you get 7 up there?
Yeah, we got 7 up.
Oh,
you get twisted tea where you're at?
No.
You don't? Have you ever tried a twisted tea?
No, but I can imagine it's very similar to kind of some of the Smirnoff type drinks with it's like an alcoholic orange or, yeah.
Yeah, it is. But we're going to have to send you some twisted tea. What flavor? They have the flavors. What flavor do you prefer?
Oh, mango.
Mango. Well, we'll see if we can't get you some mango twisted tea so that you can at least try twisted tea out of this case, okay?
It probably cost you more in postage than it would to buy the twisted tea.
Well, probably, but then you still wouldn't get to taste it, so we gotta pay for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd like to try it.
Oh, the posh people. LOL, love that. Reminds me of the Spice Girls in childhood.
Do you not say posh? Is that not a word there? What do you say for snobby people?
Snobby, snooty.
Yeah, snooty.
I myself say nasty nice.
Nasty nice. I've not heard of that one. Smirnoff Ice, my favourite. John says, Nana trying to get her drinking. I know. She's trying to start me drinking.
My mic was.
Oh, I can hear you again now.
Yeah, sorry about that. I said, you dig up all this research on this case, and that's doing research. How are you supposed to know how snockered you could get on a twisted tea if you don't drink one yourself, correct?
Exactly. Well, do you know, I did actually consider the other week, because I looked when I was looking it up in order to take a photo of some twisted tea so that I could put it in my video. I saw it on Amazon and it wasn't that expensive, and I thought maybe I should get some twisted tea and some of those Skittles vapes and see how off my face I can actually get.
There you go.
And do like
That's
an
yeah.
experiment onto how many, because I'm a lightweight. I am a lightweight. Like, you could give me one drink and I'd be drunk usually. So let's see, do an experiment on how many twisted tea and Skittles vapes it would take me to get off my face.
And you could pass for a 15-year-old boy and their tolerance for alcoholic beverages, correct?
Yes, exactly.
So see, it's just delving into the case.
Exactly. You see? That would make a great video. People would love it.
Yes, we would. That would be hilarious.
What if I did it on camera?
Yeah, do the whole thing on camera. Start out sober,
I certainly think she gave him more than one. I don't believe that she bought one for Grandus and Hunter wanted it. And she felt sorry for him, so she gave him this one twisted tea, even though there's a multitude of empty cans all spread around when they videoed that area. That made me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, how stupid does she think we are?
Right. Vibe says it's rocket fuel for teens.
Oh, is it? It might only take one then. Maybe one or two.
Lisa Renee, I honestly believe she probably would be before the end of the video. Lisa says you'll be up on the table dancing.
Oh gosh.
You've got to do this video, Emma. You have really got to do this. It's for scientific purposes.
Yeah, scientific purposes. I'll have to order some then. Some twisted tea and a Skittles vape. And we'll do a video, especially to see how many it would have taken for a 15-year-old boy to get drunk.
Snockered.
Yeah.
Is that a word you guys use? Snockered?
No, that sounds like you're snorting your bogies out of your nose. I've never heard of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Research. Rockin' Robin says it's research.
Research, yeah.
Christelle is saying, please, Emma, you've got to do it.
Well, it would be funny, wouldn't it? But then you'd have the people in the case saying, this is unprofessional. You should be thinking about summer. What has this got to do with summer? Oh, like, oh God. Please.
Oh, don't you hate it when you're in chat or on panel and people come in and you're just 5 seconds away from talking about summer? You're just literally speaking of something else for 5 seconds. And they're like, this is supposed to be about summer. Why are you not talking about summer? I'm like, geez.
You feel like it's just saying, shut up. Shut up.
Mm-hmm. Corey says, I think Dawn and Candace work together to groom people.
Yeah, I think they do. I mean, why would they have all those boys up there? No girls, just boys. Doesn't make sense. Oh, when I do this experiment, do I need to take Xanax as well? Or?
I don't know. It depends on how strongly you feel that they may have give him some. You might need to take at least a half of one just to be on the safe side.
I have to try and get my hands on some
Okay.
Xanax.
And Rockin' Robin says, right, Emma, there will be 10 YouTube videos about you drinking.
Oh yeah, can you imagine? It'll be covered by all the YouTubers. Emma's not taking this seriously. What has this got to do with summer?
What you do, you say, Dawn and Candace have drove me to drinking. That's what it is, folks. That's the connection.
Yeah.
Emma, you're going to be smoking more than vape researching Candace. Oh.
You never know. I might actually find some proper information when I'm drunk, because I don't seem to be able to find anything else out when I'm sober.
Emma, do you think it's fishy the FBI said Ellie don't need their help?
Yeah, I do.
I do too.
Yeah.
Lisa says she can hear John Davis rolling in the floor laughing.
What about the experiment? Or
Yeah. Tina says that experiment, for the sake of science, would as also give the weight to alcohol ratio. Yeah, you read that one.
extrapolation. What?
Yeah, that's where I was stuck.
Extrapolation
Palatian.
of how much it would affect summer. It does beg the question for scientific research only, of course.
Yes, and you have to take what Tina says correct, and take it into consideration. She is a minister and would not give you bad advice. So you've got to do it.
I'm just reading John's comment below. He said you need to wear a blue tank top.
Oh, jeez.
Shall I get a blue tank top and some red shorts?
Yes, you do.
Do I have to sway kind of from side to side? And
a trucker's cap too. A trucker's cap.
Oh yeah, I need a trucker's cap. Can't do it without a trucker's cap and a mullet.
And well, no, let's not go too far.
All right.
I don't think your hairstyle is actually going to, affect how much drinking you're going to do. And you're describing Candace. She wasn't the one that was drinking. It was Hunter.
What do you want me to do? Take my top off?
That's exactly what I was sitting here thinking that you were going to say.
Stand there with the gang signs like that and no top on. Like, I don't think anybody would be watching the drinking thing then at that point, or how drunk I was. I think they'd be staring at something else.
There you go, Emma. You got your video. You probably got your views for the next 5 years.
Yeah, but I think I need to then choose a different path, maybe like OnlyFans or something at that point, Yeah.
John Davis says lose the bra.
Oh God, you've got to find some laugh at, some silliness out of this whole thing, because it's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Absolutely. How is it possible that JSB was so sorry to Candace before anyone knew Summer was truly missing? I don't know.
Well, she make out that she wasn't even friends with her. I mean, she didn't even want anyone moving in. She didn't want anyone coming there in that area, which I think is because they were all, I think they were all, whether they were friends or they were in some kind of cultish type, they all knew, they were all involved in some kind of drug thing going on. I don't know. But I think that's why they didn't want Dobbs moving in, because otherwise he would suss what was going on between the rest of them.
I agree. I believe that is why they didn't want Dobbs up there too. Tina says extrapolation, the action of estimating or concluding something by assuming that existing trends will continue or a current method will remain applicable.
Tina, we need to use smaller words, because this is me and Nana here tonight. We're not on BKs. This is me and Nana.
I love Tina to death, and she is one of my closest friends, but yeah,
she's an intelligent one.
She's scored like in the top of the whole United States in her education. So yeah, she's very intelligent. Why she's my friend, I do not know.
Why she's watching us. Oh, you've got to laugh. We're only being silly.
Oh, I love you, Tina. Cash App it. Oh, for Emma, when she does it, there you go, Emma.
Cash App it. Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine that? Me doing that. Massive Cash App sign in the background. Everybody would go crazy. Can you imagine? It'd be the only thing anybody would speak about for a week.
Yeah, they wouldn't talk nothing about your bra not being on, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, true. I guess they wouldn't mention it then at that point. Yeah.
Or the drinking, or the vapes, or the Xanax.
Because we can forget these things, can't we? We can forget these things easily when there's something else that distracts us.
I'm telling you, you put a VO Cash App up there, and you could probably get away with anything in that video.
Oh,
Cash
God.
App draws everybody's attention. Oh.
Throw up those gang signs, Lisa says.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't even know what half of them mean, to be honest. I'm like looking and I'm thinking, well, that one's the same as that one, and I think it's the same as that one, but I know no idea what that means.
Thank you, Versi. Hey, I got one for you, Emma. How do you say Versi's last name?
Where?
It's on the screen, or it's in the blue in the chat.
Oh, okay. Derosit?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Evidently, we're wrong, though. It's pronounced with 2 E's on the end of it. DeRossi.
Huh? There's no E's.
I know, but she says John's right, and that's how John says you're supposed to say it.
Oh.
Tina Power.
Is it an American name?
Spanish or Hispanic. I'm not sure.
That might be why then. I'm not good at Spanish. French, I can do a bit of French.
Let it go, Nana. Okay, John, I'm letting it go. All about summer. Emma, being a medical professional, you ever thought that summer could have been diabetic had she not had food that day? Complained of being very thirsty. Allegedly, could she have gone into a coma?
I think if she'd have been diabetic, I think the news outlets would have said when they were talking about her being initially taken, she's gone and she's going to need her medication. I think it would have been made note of on the news that she'd gone without her medication. But I mean, I suppose if you are diabetic and you're not eating, it's not going to be good because your blood sugars would drop, and then you would go clammy and sweaty, and yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't think she was, because I think either somebody would have mentioned it or the media outlets would have probably mentioned it, that she had an illness and didn't have her medications.
Right. I'm pretty sure that would have came out when they searched the house, or when the news teams came up there. That somebody would have said something about needles and medication being in the house also.
Yeah, I would have thought so. What's Sherry saying? Lol, Emma's passed. Breaks and Cash App begging. Yeah, right.
Hey, we're trying to get her to do the science research here. She needs to.
The scientific research, yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Emma. My ancestors came to America in the 1700s and have fought in almost every war for our freedom since then. My aunt did an amazing job with our genealogy issue, or US.
Wow. It's nice to be able to do that. I wouldn't even know where to start or have the time to be able to even do it. Maybe when I get older. But that's good that they fought all those wars.
Yes.
I bet you're really proud.
Tina's back on the scientific research here now. She says, in summary, it would take a whole lot less alcohol to intoxicate Summer than it would a 15-year-old. Was Summer intoxicated to the point of poisoning? What is your thoughts? It was a can of soda. What if she thought it was a can of soda? What do you think, Emma? Do you think she could have gotten alcohol poisoning?
I think, I mean, we're talking a 4 or 5 year old drunk. I think you would be unconscious. I don't think you would die from that. I don't think one can, because, I mean, beer or it's not got the alcohol content in that small amount. I think you'd probably be unconscious and drunk maybe, but I don't think you'd die from it.
Right. What is CPS like in the UK? Are they more strict, do you think, the USA or in UK? I believe the UK is more strict.
I don't know. I know that if a kid goes to school and they say anything, that it's jumped upon straight away. But I know from a friend that does work for CPS that it is very, very busy, extremely busy. And I mean, some of the things that probably should be getting looked at aren't getting looked at, because they've got more important things to deal with, like real evidence of neglect.
Right. Barefoot Hillbilly Redneck Woman says, but didn't Summer allegedly say to Grandus and Candace she didn't feel good?
Yeah, that's what that Ziggy Valero came out with after she spoke to Grandus. Apparently, Grandus had said that, but there were certain things she said to her regarding Summer being ill that day, and the fact that she'd got back and gone in her camper and gone to sleep. Well, we hadn't heard that sleeping thing before. We'd not heard that Grandus had gone to sleep. Then when Grandus went on WJHL and she started saying that she went to sleep, it was almost like, oh my gosh, does that mean Ziggy Valero, everything Ziggy Valero said was actually true? And I do believe the Ziggy Valero information.
Right.
But she did say that, yeah.
Do you think if all the creators on Summer's case got together and shared your info, would you could all crack this case wide open? No.
No, but I think it would be more beneficial than, I mean, the thing is, like, if I want to go live and I want to do it properly, I can spend the best part of a full day trying to speak to people, making notes, writing things down, looking at old videos, trying to pull old snippets to show you, things like that. Whereas when you're just bashing somebody and going on for a drama live, you don't have to do any research. You don't have to do anything. It's just easy. You just press live and then start talking and bitching. And so it's so much easier for people to do that, because they don't have to do any work, do they? So that's why a lot of them do that, rather than actually trying to find any information.
Well, thank you, BBC or BBE. Sorry. Says non. I love your common sense. I think our country needs more of that. We have too many woke hypocrites.
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
In America.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You're not here. UK wouldn't stand for the state of their home. What do you think, Emma? For the Wells house, they wouldn't.
Oh no,
they wouldn't tolerate it.
No, but having said that, I mean, I've been in a lot of places where you've had to wipe your feet on the way out, or you've not wanted to bend down,
Right.
Yeah. She's throwing a popcorn, or he's throwing popcorn at John.
Who is? Oh.
Flies on
Thank you, Kathy. Kathy is a sweetheart. Flies on the coleslaw. Sorry, I know her as Kathy. She was Kathy when she first joined with me.
Oh. Hi, Kathy. She's throwing a popcorn at John.
Kathy, you're going to have to change your name to Flies on the Becca now. So many channels do that, Holly says.
Yeah, they do. What, like drama stuff. And a lot of people come to me and they say, oh, I don't want to watch the drama. I've come to you, and I did. I'm surprised you're not doing the drama as well. So, I've subbed to you. I've unsubbed from a lot of channels, and I think, wow. And then when you look, the two channels that really, really don't do drama, that have got a decent amount of subs, are Me and Evil Exists. And it makes you think, doesn't it? Is that because of the research and things we've brought forward, or is it because we don't do the drama? It makes you think, doesn't it?
Right. What Don B don't have drama.
Yeah, he's got a good amount though, hasn't he? It's growing. His channel's really growing.
Yeah, but he don't do lives either though. Have you heard of like the chicken head mafia and stuff over here, Emma?
No.
Have you researched that at all? The chicken head mafia is located in Hamlin and Hawkins County. It's a real thing.
Chicken head
mafia. They deal in pew-pews and the drugs. And I'm assuming a little of the kids too. That might be something you might want to check into. Because like I said, the only two counties that I've found that they are located in is Hawkins and Hamlin County.
And would I find that on Google then?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if I tap that into Google, will Jodie Sue's head pop up first on the image?
No.
No,
Jodie Sue's head won't pop up. Now if you type in the Lord's Prayer backwards, John Davis and Jodie Sue's head might pop up. She put a curse on John Davis the other night.
Why?
Well, we can't prove it. Allegedly it was Jodie Sue. We think it was Jodie Sue. She was going into his private chat, or somebody was going into his private chat, leaving the Lord's Prayer backwards and all kinds of stuff like that.
Oh gosh.
Nana, please look into Maxine Carr. Her and Jodie Sue is splitting image along with Maxine's husband and Jodie Sue's son. You spitting image, you mean? Not splitting image? Huh.
There was a program called Spitting Image over here at one point.
What is it about doppelgangers?
Oh, splitting image. Do you mean spitting image?
That's what I was asking. Did she mean spitting image?
Must be.
And because she said Maxine's husband and Damien are the spitting image, I'm assuming. That's a scary thought to Jodie Sue Brown's.
I was just reading BBE's comment below. That's it. She's saying about Boris resigning and who's going to replace him, and which I don't know yet. And she said, you guys need to be you need a really strong leader to stop all these, coming into the country and
Yeah, I see that. Somebody asked a minute ago, it may have been her, ask, were you glad that Boris quit or was fired, whatever?
At first I thought, oh God, when he came in, but I think he did quite a good job of it over the COVID, but wasn't impressed when I found out that he was having parties after he told everybody they had to stay in the house and self-isolate. But I don't really know him well enough to make that decision as to whether or not he should have gone or not, because I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and you don't know how much they're actually doing behind the scenes and what they're not doing, It's difficult, isn't it?
Tina says, Emma, it was lovely to meet you, but I have to go. No, I will chat with you later. Okay, Tina.
I know, I'm thinking I might have to go in a minute because it's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. It's 1 hour and 45 minutes here that we've been going. So
we've been on for ages, and it doesn't feel like we've been on that for that long, does it?
Right.
Feels like we've been only on 5 minutes, but it's because we've been having a nice time.
It is, yes, it is. Corey, no, it's not rooster fighting. Although in Cott County, that is one of the things that Cott County is famous for is cockfights. But no, the rooster head or the chicken head mafia, I'm assuming, and I'm not trying to throw any companies under the bus, but there's chicken processing plants in Hamblen County, and I'm assuming there's probably some in Hawkins County of the same company, and it's a lot of people that work for them that I believe is in that.
Nana says, Nana of 7, she says, may I ask what Emma's channel is, if it's okay?
Oh, absolutely. Christola, can you drop her link, please? Yeah, it's Crime Stories Obsessed, Nana7. She is a very big channel, way bigger than mine.
The one and only. The one and only crazy girl.
Did your channel always have the UK on the end of it, or did you
No.
recently add that?
I added that on just in case anyone wanted something a bit different, you know, from like all, because a lot of them are American channels, aren't they? Or the true crime community. They're
Right.
all. So I thought, well, I'll put that on, and then I make myself out a little bit different to everybody else.
You thought John was going to lose it. Okay, here's a question. When Dawn and Candace go to court over neglect, could it spill over into Summer's disappearance? That one's on you.
I think if they do them for something and they end up getting booked, I think they've got the prime opportunity, because at the minute they've got nothing to arrest them on. So every time we saw it on the behavioural panel, they sit down with Candace, and as soon as they start even talking to her, never mind interrogating her about things, she goes, oh, this doesn't benefit me, and then kind of walks off and rips everything off. So you can imagine what she's like to interrogate. She probably just sits there looking like somebody's just smacked her with a bus and bursting into tears.
You're such a sweet lady and such a big fan of Candace's. Emma, I just love you to death. We can tell how much you admire this lady.
Oh, she's amazing.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Christola. Your channel your link's been dropped 3 times right there, right in a row.
Oh, thank you, guys. Well, I'm going to go. I'm going to kick the cats out of the bedroom, and I'm going to get a good night's sleep, because I need to get my body back into sleeping during the night and being awake during the day.
Okay.
Thank
you,
you
Emma.
for having me on. It's been lovely talking to you and everybody in the chat.
Well, I appreciate you coming up. I greatly appreciated this. Yeah, I think it's a whole lot more fun than the guys, having to question them about, Westerns and boxers and briefs and all that crap.
Well, what I'll do then is I'll get some twisted tea, and I will have to either go live. I'll let you know how it goes on.
Well, you wouldn't have to actually go live. You could just record it, or take and record it like every 15 minutes, do like 10-minute intervals every 15 minutes.
I might just do that. Oh my God.
I'm telling, and just make sure and put up there, this is for scientific research. And, I've never had a twisted tea, and I wanted to know how much it would take to get a 15-year-old snockered. So I'm telling you, it would get some views on that. Everybody would want to see that. I'm telling you, it would be so funny.
I might do.
You said mango, right? Mango?
Yeah, mango's my favorite.
Okay.
Definitely. Okay, guys. Well, you have a good night. And
you try to get some rest, hon.
You too. See you soon.
All right. Bye, sweetheart.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, guys. It's just us. Oh, Lordy. Well, it's us for another 10 minutes anyways. Does anybody want to jump up here and say anything? Anybody have anything to say at all? She wouldn't come back after the first video. I'm sure it would depend on their body weight, but the whole purpose would be because it's funny and she's never drank twisted tea before. And we just needed a good reason for her to be drinking twisted tea so people wouldn't say something bad about it. Thank you, Holly. Emma did do great. She was great. And I'm greatly appreciative of her coming up here. I know she said she didn't particularly want to go on anybody else's panel anymore. I don't know what happened to John. Did he bow out? Did he leave? She'd be wasted. Yeah. I agree. She probably would be. I would love to see the paperwork on the boys and on Summer from CPS. You got popcorn salt in your eye. Oh, and you got popcorn salt in his eyes from throwing it at him, huh? I'm not a drinker, so it wouldn't take much for me. Well, a 15-year-old boy is not supposed to be a drinker either. So that was the whole thing is, you know, she would be the equivalent of a 15-year-old boy who's not supposed to ever have drank before and drink how many twisted teas to find out how much it would cause her to be loopy. Thank you, BBE. It was fun. I think I'm trying to lose my voice, guys. What's my opinion on the Dylan Rounds case? I started trying to follow the Dylan Rounds case and wanted to only report the truth. But then when a certain PI started with his wild stories and dragging people out of the woodwork and trying to make things out the way, I just figured I would just stick with Summer until we try to find her. I mean, I feel bad. He's still a kid. He's Candace's kid. And like he's still a kid. He needs to be found. Answers need to be gotten, but I don't know if I could actually go and try to report on his case without trying to. I couldn't keep my mouth shut about a certain person. So, Nana, what's the recipe for twisted tea? I don't know what the recipe for twisted tea is. It just, you buy it in the store, honey, and like beer. Thank you, Vibes. I appreciate that, hon. I really like these interviews. I hope you continue to do them. Lots of different participatives, perspectives, and thoughts. I would really like to. I really would. I'm actually, and I was going to ask y'all's opinion. I actually thought about doing something fun or trying to do a little fun thing. Taking and doing cropping pictures down on one video next week, maybe sometime, and seeing if you all can guess just from the eyes who the YouTuber is. You know, guess that YouTuber. Just for something off the wall to do to, you know, just have something to do, I guess. Nana, oh crap, just realized my text didn't go through to you. I was trying to warn you about that comment. Oh, it's okay, hon. If you heard your neighbor yelling for their kid, would you be sorry right out of the gate? I think the normal thought would be they're around here somewhere, not normal in the mind. Right. I don't think I would walk out and say, I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry that you've lost your child. Is there anything I can do to help? Is twisted tea like the New England iced tea ordered at a bar? Similar, yes. You mean a Long Island iced tea? Is it called an England iced tea? It's like a Long Island iced tea. If y'all know what that is, I mean, that would be fun, but hard but fun. You think? I would like to try to do that and see who actually can guess who the people are. Leave like some kind of hi Andrew, would you like to pop up here? I would love to have a chat with you, Andrew. And no hate, I promise, no hate. Just a normal conversation. Andrew, I'm going to drop the link if you want to come up. Why are you talking? I'm not talking about your kid. Are you going to answer? Do you want to come up? Have you seen JSB's video disturbing her first contact with Candace that day? I don't think I have. It was about Candace was wrong giving him alcohol and vapes. It was wrong. If Andrew comes up here, I will ask him. I'm not much of a drinker, don't much like alcohol. Andrew, I'm not going to be on here much longer. I'm going to drop the link. If you want to take it, you need to take it. I did drop the link. Andrew, if you want to take the link, take it. Hey, actually, people were talking up for H, and what Candace did to him was wrong, nothing more. Is he gone now? Well, Christola said she timed him out. There he is. You have to give it a second. There it goes. Hey.
Wow, hold on, you're loud.
Sorry.
No, it's not you. It's my setup.
All right. Yeah, no, we weren't talking about it. We were talking about what Candace may have done to him. I don't talk about Hunter or any of the boys.
Nah, not you. Some of your chat. That's all.
Oh, okay.
And there is a recipe for twisted tea.
Huh?
There's a recipe for twisted tea that you can make at home.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, all it is a milk jug with maybe half a bottle of whiskey and all the rest tea. You let it sit for 24 hours, shake the jug up, poof, there you go.
Really? Does it matter what kind of whiskey?
No, it's whatever your preference is. All it basically is alcoholic tea, nothing more.
Right. So, how are you doing?
Oh, tired. I just got done at a friend of mine's little brother's 21st birthday party.
Oh, that's good.
Not really. It was kind of a drag.
Okay. Hey, do you know anything about? Okay, I know what you said. I've got your story down pat about what happened with you and Allie and how she took Hunter away when he was a baby, and it was a while.
It was 2015. 2015.
Oh, I thought you said he was 3 when she took him, brought him to Tennessee.
No. It was 2015.
Oh, okay. And then she filed for whatever, and they needed blood tests to prove that you were the dad, right?
No, that was when he was 6 months old because a so-called friend of mine at the time thought he was going to take custody of my son, and they wanted DNA, and they couldn't have it. And he came back negative, so we did DNA. So it came down to me or him, and since he came back negative, I already knew he was mine.
Right, right. Now you and Candace had custody of Hunter, right? No, you and Candace. I'm so sorry.
Allison had physical up until 2018.
Okay, but
I mean, Allison had sole. Allison had
Yeah.
sole custody until 2018.
but I mean, here recently, you and her split the time. You got him in the summer, and she had him in the school year.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Okay, and True lived with Sherry, correct?
True was living with her mother.
I thought she lived with Sherry.
Probably at some point, but as far as I knew, she always lived with her mama. But I'm not
Okay,
told
so-
everything like I'm supposed to be.
So Allie does have custody of all of her children, correct?
From what my son personally told me about a week ago, is that he wasn't there and neither was his sister
Okay.
because mama got in some trouble. I guess threatening somebody or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
He tried to get into it, and I said, "Bud, she's not my problem. You are."
Right, right. I agree. I don't bash people, Andrew. I hope you know that. I don't bash
Oh
people.
no! Listen. I got you subscribed on my other channel that I'm blocked on.
You have me subscribed on the other channel. You mean the one? Okay, yeah, that the guy did the crap with.
No,
Okay.
my other channel was PyCon. Now it's Andrew H. I'm blocked in your chat. I mean, I understand there's a lot of some of your subscribers.
Oh no. Yeah, that's right. And I don't know how to unblock you. That's the problem. I don't know how to unblock you.
It's in your studio. You go on the computer into your studio.
Yeah.
You go down to community, and then oh crap. And then it'll give you options to go down. You'll see where who you have moderating for you, and then if you scroll down a little bit under that, it'll show you everybody you blocked ever since your channel started on YouTube.
Okay. But yeah, it was they were just trying to protect me and blocked you immediately, and I was like, no, I wanted to talk
No,
to
it's
him.
no. Listen. It's understandable because I'm not known to be a nice guy, and
Right,
I'm not known to.
But you promised you'd be nice if you ever come on my channel, so
Yeah, I'm usually nice to those creators that are nice to me. That's how I look at it. But yet again, that comes back and bites me in the ass at times.
It's not going to come back and bite you in the ass here.
Well, it came back and bit me in the ass with Benny and a few others. So
I'm not them though, hun.
Oh no, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just saying in general. But I'm still nice to wherever I go. Whoever chat I'm in, I'm still nice. I show the love. I show the respect. I'm not there to, take over your channel or anything. I'm there to, show you the love. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's your channel, your conversation, your content. I'm not there to take over or anything. I'm there to watch because I think your content is badass.
Oh, well, thank you. Just one question. Well, not, I've got more than one question, but I got a question for you. Everybody's been trying to figure out, okay, when you said that you were coming to Tennessee for the vigil and that you were going to be renting 125 Ben Hill, did you come to Tennessee and not go to the vigil, or did you just stay in New York?
I couldn't move I had a job that came out of nowhere and I had to go to work.
That's what I thought. You didn't come to Tennessee. That's what I said.
No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't go because, like I said, I do landscaping, roofing, remodeling. So when a job comes, I have no choice but to get on it.
Right.
That's my life. That's my livelihood for my children.
And again, how many children do you have?
I have 5, 2 step, and in all honesty, I'm taking care of another asshole's kid.
Okay.
Well, I can't say asshole because he's doing right by his children now. It's just the mother is. We're not going down that road.
Right.
But no,
Yeah,
I'm
it goes both
not.
ways.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I come off as a bad person at times, yes, but that's only because when you're constantly when people are like, oh well, he's this or he's that because of his tattoos or the way he talks or this or that. It's like, you know what, dude? You want to be that person again? I have no qualms. I ain't been that type of person since I was in my late teens, early 20s. You want me to be that jerk? I'll be that jerk, and I'll run with it.
Right. Right.
But what it is that I can be a real nice guy or I can be a dickhead, and I don't want to be the dickhead because that's not going to get me nowhere.
Right. Exactly. Are you part of the Hatchet Man? What is the name? I can't think.
Juggalos?
lately. No, the clown posse.
Yeah, Insane Clown Posse. We're called Juggalos. Yes, I've been listening to
Juggalos.
them.
That's the word.
I've been listening to them since they came out.
But are you a part of them?
I'm a Juggalo, yes.
Okay.
And I have tattoos and merch to prove it.
I'm trying to sit here and think of questions.
Hunter is not. Lisa, I can't. Renee, I can't pronounce her last name.
Lisa Renee.
All right. Hunter is not in school right now. It's summer vacation down there.
They'll be getting back soon.
Yeah. Next month. He's working. He's got over $2,000 saved up, and he's getting his permit, and he's buying his own car.
Now, is he getting married? Is he pregnant?
No and no. Because when you have joint custody of a child and your child is underage and they want to say get married, you need both parents' signature on that paperwork. And I'm not signing it at all. I'm sorry. To me, if you're not old enough to sign it, if you're not legal enough to sign it yourself, you're not legal enough to do it.
Exactly. If you're not old enough to pick up a cigarette, you shouldn't be old enough to make a life-changing decision.
Exactly. And I'm sorry, but cigarettes are 21 and up. You can only buy it 21 here.
That's the way it is here too. Well, it might be 18. I'm not sure. But come on, were you 21 when you got married the first time?
No, I was in like 24-ish.
Oh, okay. And see, it didn't work out the first time, right?
Didn't work out the second time either.
Imagine if you were 16.
To my point exactly. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. Some states do have the Romeo and Juliet laws where it surpasses what a parent wants to say or do. And some places till this day, not saying our country, but some countries still allow 13-year-olds to get married.
Right. So
it all depends on exactly where you are and what the rules are. Everything changes.
Right.
But I know for a fact Tennessee's Juliet law states where if he's 18 and she's younger than him,
she has to be 16 and pregnant.
Yep. And she ain't pregnant. And she ain't 16.
I got married at 14 in South Carolina.
What's up, my son? How you doing? Chilling. What are you doing, boy? Yeah. Oh, give me the baby. Get not on my shoulder, please. Give me the baby.
My baby.
What'd you name him?
Shade Junior.
Shade Junior. Hi, mom. Hi. Boy or girl?
I don't know yet.
Let me check. Sorry.
You're fine.
You got yourself a baby boy. Yeah,
guys, I do ask for everybody to show my guest respect.
Get off my camera. You're underage. Hi, baby boy. Go on back with daddy. Go on. Sorry.
Hi.
My stepson's
here. Fine, Andrew.
My stepson came over for the weekend.
Well, that's good. But no, I just am trying to get the facts. I mean, that's all I want is facts, Andrew. And I do have to say, when you did that video the other day, I don't know when you done it, but the thing about Judy Sue, Judy Sue and the 3-year-old when the baby was 3.
I'm sorry. I have to apologize. That information, that the recording on when it was part one of the CM video with my son that I was going over is where I played the whole recording. Now, see, I got a phone call from Mama Bear herself asking me questions, and I overheard that. And she asked me not to say anything until she could release the recording. And then people were bombarding my stream, and it was 1 o'clock in the morning here.
Right.
So it was late. It was late night, early morning type deal, and people were bombarding my stream and pissing me off. And I let that slip out, and I caught a world of hell because of it.
Well, no, all I was going to say was that I did do a video, and I was like, Andrew, if you knew about it, why didn't you say something about it? And I said the same thing to Ellie and them, but
I found out that night, and having police in Tennessee, having police in that county of Tennessee do anything is like pulling teeth, because I haven't heard from my son in a week, which is not normal. I haven't heard from Allison in a couple weeks, which is not normal. So I called them yesterday for a welfare check, and they did not call me back to let me know anything, which is illegal because I have joint custody of my son.
Right. And I would get on that if I was you. But no, all I was going to say was wherever you heard it from, to me, it sounded like you had conviction in your voice, and I believed you. I really did believe you.
It came out of a child's mouth. I'm sorry. I'm going to believe a child over an adult any day. That's how I'm raised.
Well, and then the very next day after I made that video saying, that you had conviction in your voice, the very next day was when the audio came out.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point that out, that,
I heard. If you've seen the video, you've seen I was nice, cool, calm, and then all of a sudden I just snapped and it came out. Now, that's not something normal people do.
Right.
If they're lying about something.
There was conviction in the sound of your voice. That's what I heard. That's what I saw.
Discovering Truth. Mama Bear is not Allie at all. Allison don't have a channel.
Okay. Do you think that Hunter and Allie and all them are have they been given a gag order to keep quiet?
No, no. In the beginning, I believed that there was going to be one because he was freshly coming home. So I would figure that there would have been one, safety precaution type deal. But I later found out no. And where's Summer? I don't know if she's on drugs. I mean, I couldn't tell you. I can only tell you what I know and what little bit of information my son delivers me, and it's not really a lot. So I do apologize, guys. I mean, I wish I could give more because I really want to give more, but I don't have all the answers. I'm just one person everybody says me doing the Chris McDonough interview and my reactions to it's throwing Hunter under the bus. No, it's not. It's looking at Allison's reactions when Hunter goes off key because she gets pissed off. You can see it in her face. And I was putting Dad's thoughts on his son's interview. What it should have went down months ago.
Right. I've got a question for you. I believe it's John Davis that keeps asking it. Is it normal for Allie to allow her phone to go dead? I know you live states away and you're not around a lot.
She's legally not supposed to. I'm supposed to have contact with my son. I'm supposed to have contact with my son 7 days a week.
So, I'm trying not to piss you off. Not that I'm scared to piss you off.
No. Well, darling, you're not going to piss me off, honey. I mean,
okay.
Listen, I screwed my shoulder today. My friend took a nasty spill off a pool ladder, and not once, but twice. The first time he cracked his ribs off the side of the pool, and then when he tried to get out the second time, he was going to go fall, and I caught 200 pounds of dead weight on my bad shoulder. So, listen, I'm in too much pain to get pissy.
Okay. Do you think it's odd that Allie's phone, the only time Allie's phone has ever went dead was that evening?
Yeah, I think that's kind of fishy.
I mean, because Allie just seems like the type of person that stays on her phone all the time. And I mean, I'm one of those people. So I never let my phone go dead.
Darn, if I knew, I'd tell you. But I'm telling you now, I think that it's just part of my language here. I think that I'm not trying to be disrespectful or mean towards Allison, but at the same time, like, it's not hard to do simple things, and you're making a mountain out of a molehill with a lot of shit towards me, towards the summer case. Now, if you were just to sit there when you were asked repetitively by not just me on my channel, but the several other channels you've been on, and you sat there and told the fucking truth, then you would not be in the predicament you're in.
Exactly.
These tapes would not have to come out stating that you lied straight to my face and other YouTubers' faces this whole goddamn time. So now if you want to come out and say something that's truthful, you're going to get called a bullshit ass liar.
Right. Andrew, does it make you mad they pulled your son's name into this mess?
I know enough about law enforcement to understand if a missing person, a missing child or adult, that in their cases, when it first happens, they have to look in the back, they have to look in the past 48 hours to see who they have been around. And my son happened to be one of the unlucky to be around her. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that the cards fell where they had to. I'm more pissed off that Allison withheld a lot of information that could have helped in the beginning, and now it's just like a normal phone call to the TBI, like, yep, whatever, we're not even gonna bother with it.
Right. Let me ask you something. I just heard that one clip about what happened the night the baby got a hold of that stuff, right? And it cuts off really quick without finding out what happened.
There, part 2 of my interview says what happens after that, and there was another one released last night. It's a 3-hour long conversation, but she's doing it in segments.
Okay. Do you obviously Allie and them did not call a 911. They did not call an ambulance. Do you know why?
Nope. I haven't been able to get a hold of her to ask why.
Well, I mean, she says that Candace was scared to call the law, that she would go to jail. Candace would go to jail. But obviously nobody called the law, or else we wouldn't be sitting in this position right now.
I'm not blaming Allison, but maybe I'm not saying that it's Allison's fault this little one went missing. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if she would have done something when she was 3, she'd still be around. I'm just saying.
Right.
We all make bad choices. Allison made a fucked up choice.
Well, Allison wasn't only in there, was she? Great grandma was there.
No, listen, Candace drove down over to Allison's with Summer in that state when she was 3. She took Summer to Allison's house. So that means you not only put that little girl, you not only put Summer in jeopardy, you put my son in jeopardy and your own 2 children in jeopardy because you didn't want to call a cop.
Right. Do you know if Dawn was with her?
I don't know. I honestly don't. I mean, I didn't even know who dude was until after Summer went missing.
Right. I'm just trying to get
did CW was all right, I understand. In my opinion, it doesn't look right. All the shit that came out about Hunter's Facebook comment section with CW talking the way she is to him, to me as a parent, does not smell right. It doesn't look right, doesn't smell right. To me, that sounds like that's a full-ass grown adult going after an innocent fucking child.
Right. It is.
I mean, it may have been just jousting, but why are you just jousting with it? Why are you jousting with a 15-year-old? That's you know what I mean? That's
Right.
that type of shit you do with your homies when you're sitting back chilling and having a couple of laughs.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
just
she's evidently got a record of having teenage boys up there. I mean,
no, that's a new one to me too. See, I told you I'm not really told much.
well, Candace has had, like, Cameron stayed with them for a while his mom was in jail. This is from Don's mouth himself, because Cameron's mom evidently does the same type of drugs and stuff, and she got in trouble, was put in jail. So they had Cameron up there.
My question to you, okay, is that if I'm gonna bring up this person because people want to say in here, if JS knew about it, why didn't she do anything?
That's my question too.
When she's the one, out of the mouth of babes, by the way, let me say this, out of the mouth of a child, is the one that sold Candace the shit. Why? Knowing that after you sold the woman the shit, her little girl got in it, why didn't you do something?
Well, of course, obviously, because she would go to jail too. Because she's the one that sold it.
What's more important? No. What's more important?
Oh, no, I agree 100%.
Child.
Okay? I agree 100%. That's why I keep saying I don't understand if great grandbun, what do y'all call her? Cassandra or what?
I call her Grams only because that's out of respect, and that's what I've called her since before Hunter was born.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not.
That's what I was introduced as.
I'm not trying to show her any disrespect because, I mean, it's just that was her nickname because nobody knew what her name was. She was there at the house that night, correct? She lives with Allison.
No, she don't live with Allison.
I thought that was her house that Allison was living in.
No, that's Allison's, and that's Alice. Let me rephrase that. That's Allison's government home.
Right.
So, sorry. The only way you're getting, I'm sorry. The only way you're getting inspections if you live in a multi-apartment building or you're living in a government-funded building. That's the only way you're going to have inspections.
We know that it's government funded, and she's under a program where you have to be on your feet and have a place within 5 years. And
yep. And her 5 years is coming up pretty quick.
Right. Well, I was just wondering because I thought if Sherry or Cassandra was there the night that Summer OD'd, then why didn't my point is, obviously,
there's all these adults, but there's nobody there.
Right. But what I'm saying is they're saying that Candace didn't take her to the hospital or call 911 because she was freaking out because she was high. Okay, I'm not that that's an excuse and I don't forgive it. But I'm saying, okay, fine, she was freaking out. But if Allison was straight, which obviously she was supposed to have been, I'm assuming. What was she so scared of that she didn't immediately call 911 or take the baby to the hospital? I mean, it's not like she would be the one getting in trouble.
Yeah, but Laura Croft, I did, not Laura Croft, April C. Yes, that was that was what information that was given to me that I passed along to everybody, was about Jose being in Tennessee when she went missing. I am still waiting on the proof that he was there.
Right.
So right now that is just word of mouth. Right now that is just word of mouth information. I am trying to fix it to where it's not word of mouth and it's legit. In fact, we need to know who the fuck was around her.
Right. Well, the only person I've heard say that is Dudley. Hello, James. How are you?
Stranger. I'm pretty sure the only reason if Allison was afraid of anything was afraid of not getting the attention from Candace. Just saying. And anybody being afraid of Judy soon, I'm really not, because I know what she is, and I'm gonna call her out.
Put a curse on you.
I don't care. Put a curse on me, honey, because ain't nobody played with black magic better than I do.
All right, let's not be talking about that now.
No, sorry, but I'm just saying, this woman, she's a man abuser, and she thinks she's all powerful because she likes to lay hands on men that were raised not to strike women.
Right.
And I think that's a pussy fucking move.
I know you've not been in the house, but you've seen the interview and stuff. What did you think about those stairs?
I've seen worse.
But you didn't think they were dangerous for a little kid?
I think a railing should have been involved. But
yeah, he does do good about that, don't he? Says you keep up with the chat and try to answer.
Yeah, I do that. I do that over on my side. Speaking of that, I am actually late.
Oh, well, that's fine. I appreciate you coming up.
Hey, honey, my email's in my about section. If you got any more, I have no qualms in answering. All right.
Actually, one day next week, do you want to do This Is Your Story?
I can try. It all depends on my schedule, honey.
Okay.
That's why I said just drop an email and we can talk. Like I said, I'll try.
Okay.
All right. You have a good day.
You too, sweetheart.
Not a problem.
Bye, hon. Well, that was unexpected, guys. Oh, you have a question? I'm sorry, James. What was it? And I'll see if it's been answered already. If you'll just go ahead and type it in there. He's quite respectable. Well, I figured he would be if he came up on my channel. I really did. I don't know if he's always honest, but he at least answers everything that he possibly can answer. Of course, I mean, you have to look in the mirror and say, are you honestly honest with every person that asks you every question either? And especially if you were sitting in the same position. I don't know where John Davis is. Kathy was throwing popcorn at him, and then she says she got him with some salt in his eye. I hope he's okay, Kathy. Nana, Andrew says himself on multiple lives that Jose was in Tennessee. Okay, April, I understand, honey, but you can't just beat a dead horse. If he doesn't want to talk about it or he's not going to answer that question, you move on to another question that he's willing to answer or that he can answer. Nana, tell Andrew to type in chat so he knows he's not blocked. Okay. Well, I don't think he's still listening. I think he's went on his live. Did you unblock him, Christola? Thank you. Exactly, Robin. That's what I've been saying. He might not be, whatever everybody thinks, and I'm not trying to take up for anybody, but I'm just saying, imagine what you would do for your own child. Everybody thought it was just horrific that he sent the biker people up there to go get Hunter. But if your child was states away from you and you supposed to have custody of them at that moment, and they wound up in a situation like that, wouldn't you try to get your child away from it? Thanks, Nana. You have a great knack with people. Well, thank you, Laura. Good night, Redmilla. Okay, Andrew, how many family households were moving to Tennessee who has the rental lease for the apartment everyone was going to move to? I know I won't go out of town on a camping trip with my kids without a lease. That was not answered. I did want to get into it, but I actually have to sit down and write things out because I can't ever remember anything. I will I will make sure and write this down and make sure and ask him. I'm hoping that we can get him set up to come in and do one of his This Is My Story next week, maybe. And after we get the initial questions that I always ask out of the way, then everybody can bombard him with questions. But I will state right now, I will not tolerate anybody, not even Andrew. I will not tolerate anybody disrespecting anybody on my panel. That includes calling them a liar. I don't remember who it was that did that a while ago, but I will not tolerate it. You will treat my guests the same way you treat me. I love you guys. I would not have this channel without you. I give you complete credit. It is just as much your channel as it is mine. But if you want people to be able to come up here and talk and feel free to talk, then you cannot attack them. It doesn't matter whether you believe what they're saying or not. To read between the lines, you've got to have the chance to ask the questions. And you got to give them a chance to answer them. And I'm not a disrespectful person unless you pee me off. And I'm not going to allow anybody else to disrespect somebody that I'm trying to have a conversation with. Did y'all see what happened on CSI's live the other night? No, I didn't see it. Where'd you go? Can you still throw popcorn at John? Yes, you can, but you need to make sure he's okay. Make sure he's not gone blind. As long as he's not gone blind, you're more than welcome to throw popcorn at anybody you want to. CM called Judy Sue a liar in chat. You removed those comments. Okay. And I will say this again, guys, not that y'all have to be reminded. All of my mods that I have modded, I appreciate greatly. LeBar, I've got to mod you, by the way. I still haven't done that. All my mods, I appreciate greatly. I appreciate everybody, but my mods, I appreciate the jobs that y'all do for me. And I want you to understand that I couldn't have the channel without yins either. But if anybody has any questions about pretty much anything to do with modding or what I will or will not tolerate, Christola is the person you go to. She is the top mod. Just lost it. Why? What happened? Did you just see Andrew on here? Andrew was up here chit-chatting. Just lost my shit bad, Nana. Why am I bad? Are you okay? I'm fixing to close up shop. Do you want to call? You want to come up on panel? Maybe it'll calm me down. All right, I'm dropping it. Corey, let Don B come up here real quick. I dropped him a link, hon.